What up guys, Justice here. Today I am completing the World Wakes quest, and the main reason why I'm completing this quest is so I can try and max DPS whilst I'm at Virago. As you do, the rewards you get from the quest are 5 brand new ultimate abilities, and these ultimate abilities help you in terms of DPSing, especially the Sunshine ability and the Natural Instinct. So Natural Instinct would be for the gear setup which I'm using today, which is my Torva, which I've recently bought by the way, which I'm absolutely chuffed about. And Natural Instinct essentially lasts for 30 seconds. You require 100% adrenaline in order to use it, and then once you use it, your basic abilities will actually double your adrenaline. So rather than using just a basic ability and it pumps your adrenaline up by 8%, it'll actually pump it up by 16% whilst you've got Natural Instinct in play. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing the quest. I will show you some highlights of the quest, a few boss fights. I've heard that this is a very fun quest to do if you're a combat orientated player, and I can vary in terms of my play style throughout the game, but I do prefer combat orientated quests, so this is going to be very interesting. It's supposed to be very long, and again I'll just condense the video and just show you the highlights, and also do a slight review over the 5 ultimate abilities which I obtain as a reward. So hope you enjoy, and I'll see how this goes. See you in a bit guys. So Orlando Smith is definitely from down south in England. He's definitely a Cockney fella, but yeah, he seems like quite an interesting character. And I'm just in the first room at the moment, and at this point I'm just searching the room for different clues. I'm just going to skip ahead. So on to the first boss fight. Okay, so when me and Orlando Smith entered the next chamber, we were ambushed by 3 mechanical looking creatures. These are Cresbots, and they claimed one of us was Marite. I'm guessing maybe me, I'm not sure. I looked pretty funny with my Torva on. And basically they kill Orlando. I'm pretty shocked about that. I can't believe they killed Orlando already. I thought he was going to be like a main character. Anyway, I defeated the mechanical creatures, as you can see, and basically you don't want to be within that stomping effect when they are doing that, as it'll hit you 1k constantly. And basically it's really easy to dodge, to be honest. It isn't a very hard battle, but I'm guessing it's more of a warm-up battle for the rest of the quest. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to completing this entire quest. Like, it goes through the whole history of Gielinor, which is quite an interest of mine in terms of, you know, where did it actually originate from, and the God Wars battle and the huge sword in the wilderness. So there's loads of different types of stories which you'll find out. So after this boss fight, you come across a shady character called Sleeske. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I'm guessing that's how you pronounce it, and he's a really dodgy character. He's a slithery bastard, to put it kindly. But then you come across Carrera, Krill, and Ziliana, the 3 GodWarsDungeon Bosses, who basically warn you that they will literally murder you if you get in their way. And it turns into like basically a race to who can get to Guthix first. What you just saw there was me killing Carrera. That was extremely easy. Again, I am wearing a high level gear here, probably one of the highest melee gears you can wear in terms of DPS. But again, it really wasn't that hard. You've just got to stay away from the whirlwinds and you'll be absolutely fine. So on to Bandos, Grador. Again, Bandos is the easiest GodWarsDungeon Bosses anyway. However, obviously it's a bit harder. As you can see, the boulders falling from the roof. Also, the bosses are definitely tamed down in this quest. They're not as hard as they are in GodWarsDungeon, or, well, it doesn't seem that way anyway. And especially Carrera, she was absolutely piss easy. And the only difficulty there really was you just don't want to get amongst the whirlwinds. And this one is a bit like hard mode Bandos. So again, this next boss, the second boss which you'll kill out of the 4, is very interesting. Basically, you can't damage him unless you get rid of the dark portals, and at this point you've got quite a few zombies attacking you. But if you've chosen the Cresbots, as you can see, to assist you in this, then it actually isn't so bad, because he actually spawns more of his companions to help you out, and then they basically just kill the zombies who are trying to kill you. You destroy the portals, and then just make sure you've got some thresholds to the ready, which I was doing for when you're killing the boss, and then you can just sort of deal as much damage as you can over the time you've got. But yeah, I mean, this was probably one of the longest, or one of the longer boss fights purely just because you've got to get the portals. But again, this quest is pretty awesome. I loved the music, it was a bit dramatic, and you know, I was really getting into it at this point. And yes, I definitely do have to add that was a 9.45k hit with melee, so that was pretty epic. Again, that's because of the stat boosting which you can get from the cauldrons. So each time before you go into the bosses, there's cauldrons outside, and you'll find that you can heal, or there's a cauldron which gives you extra power, and that one's just awesome. I don't know what it does and how much power it gives you, but it's almost like a extra 50% of an overload on top of the overload, and that's just makes a big difference. As you saw, 9.45k hit, pretty epic there, and it's nice to do this quest just to see those hits as well. Now on to Krill, the Zamorak boss, or the Zamorak minion. And to be honest, Krill, essentially in GodWarsDungeon, the normal bosses, supposedly gives the most damage output across all of them. However, in this one, in terms of the quest storyline, it's actually the easiest boss of them all, and to be honest, you can probably DPS Krill down before you even start using his special abilities properly, and that's because he does have the lowest defense of them all. Potentially, in order to make the quest harder, they could have made the bosses in relation to your stats levels or the gear you're wearing. But again, those are probably improvements Jagex will probably put into the game, you know, into the future when they start getting into the nitty-gritty or start developing their programming. So yeah, on to the next boss, the final boss actually, out of the quest. So this boss, I don't know how you found it, but for me, this was the hardest boss of them all, and that was mainly for the reason that she actually heals from you. She does this special attack where you have to actually get away from her in order to heal, and that I found an absolute pain, and I only realised that after a while. Also, there's a bit where she will use a special ability again where she'll actually stun you and you'll remain where you are, and I only just realised that you had to use freedom, and if you use freedom you escape from it. And but you know, I like the logistics of this, and as a review, you know, I think it's a very interesting boss, and the different special abilities which she uses is very interesting. Now at this point I thought, right, I'm going to choose the Tortoise for this one because I can maybe get behind him and it'll block the special ability which she uses, but guess what? It doesn't. Somehow a special ability goes through a massive dock-off Tortoise, or turtle, whatever it is. I can't believe it. But anyway, that was kind of pointless. He's just sort of sat there doing nothing, so thanks a lot. I mean, I understand they move slowly, but for God's sake, it could have at least have blocked the damage. But anyway, this, as you can see how we're struggling, I actually skipped through a little bit as well. Nice hit there, by the way. But yeah, it was just an absolute pain. But eventually, you know, I got through it, and again, like I said earlier, I like the logistics of the boss and the different special abilities. They are like switching it up a little bit and making things a bit different. So as you can see at the moment, I've got to use freedom to escape from that in order to stop her from healing from me. And I'm about to take her out now, just about to use the threshold, and she will be down. God, that laugh freaked me out. I don't know about you, but that laugh freaks me out, man. So yeah, at this point, all the bosses just sort of gathered together and started arguing about random things, and basically about who's going to get to Guthix first, and then next, and the Zaros bosses suddenly appeared, and it was all going to get crazy. And then Juna was blocking the doorway to Guthix, and then Salisky, the slippery bastard who I mentioned earlier, ended up getting through the doorway, and that was a huge twist to the storyline. So spoilers, I'm sorry, but yeah. That was a huge twist to the storyline. At this point, I had to go and chase after him, which I thought was pretty cool. And you have to dodge these fireballs. Again, I love the graphics, and also the icicles fall down and trap you in, so that's really good. Oh, dead easy though. You just need to time it right, and you'll get through there. And then for the very first time, you get to see Guthix, who, by the way, I think looks absolutely incredible. And at this point, I was absolutely heartbroken. heartbroken, but I was just gutted. I just couldn't believe Guthix died. I was like, yes, I'm finally gonna get me him. He's gonna instill all his wisdom into me, and we're gonna find out loads of stuff and stories, and we're gonna get to do stuff. But yeah, so basically he dies, but before he dies, he just takes you on a little trip through his past and his history of how he was brought up and where he used to live. And you know, you do sympathize with Guthix, and you basically follow him through his storyline. And I think this is a really, really cool aspect of the quest. Like, I really do think Jagex really nailed it with this quest line in terms of a grandmaster epic quest. Beautiful storyline, incredible graphics, and again, really interesting boss fights with different abilities. You know what, I think they've made it absolutely awesome quest here. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed watching the video and watching my review essentially on the World Wakes, and also maybe picking up on a few tactics. If you've not done the quest yet, hopefully you picked up on a few tactics of how to kill the different bosses when, and also which loyal minions to assign to each boss fight. So I'm just about to complete the quest, and you'll see me gain an assortment of rewards. Extremely good rewards. It's worthwhile doing the quest for them. And I actually managed to gain 100k divination experience, which was really good. The quest took me about an hour and 5 minutes, by the way, an hour and 10 minutes. And I got 100k agility, which leveled me to level 79. And also I got level 77 thieving from 100k experience. And I put the rest of the combat on range, which added up to a total of 150k experience. So guys, I'll see you in the next video, where I will be reviewing the brand new 5 ultimate abilities which I've just obtained.